Zoe, have you ever been in a situation where you had to learn the hard way about trusting someone?
Yeah, once with a project. I trusted the wrong person, and it almost failed.
That's rough. It happened to me too. I was working on this big art installation and I trusted my partner completely. He ended up not doing his part until the last minute.
Oh no, that must have been stressful.
Stressful doesn't even cover it. We were so close to missing our deadline. I learned to always check in more often and set clear expectations right from the start.
Makes sense. Clear communication can save a lot of trouble.
Absolutely. And sometimes, even after all that, things still don't work out. But at least then you know you did everything you could.
True. But it's tough when you feel like you've done your part and they let you down.
I know what you mean. Once, I had an assistant who kept saying he would get things ready but never did. By the time I realized something was off, we were already behind schedule.
That's frustrating.
Really frustrating. After that, I made sure everyone knew exactly what was expected and checked back frequently. You just can't afford to be naive in situations like that.
Checking in sounds like a good strategy.
Yeah, checking in helps a lot. But there's another thing I've learned the hard way: overcommitting. Remember that time when I took on 3 projects at once?
Oh yeah, that was hectic.
Hectic doesn't begin to describe it. I was spread so thin that none of them got the attention they deserved. It taught me the value of saying no.
Saying no can be tough though, especially when you really want to help.
Absolutely. But sometimes you have to think about what's best for your own well-being and the quality of your work. Overcommitting leads to burnout and poor results.
That makes sense. I remember feeling guilty every time I had to say no to something, but maybe I should do it more often.
Exactly. It's okay to prioritize your workload and your mental health. When you overcommit, you end up sacrificing both.
It's just hard to balance wanting to be helpful with knowing your limits.
I hear you. One time, a friend asked me to help out with her art show right before mine opened. I said yes without thinking, and both shows suffered because of it.
That sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Disaster is right. Since then, I make sure to weigh each request carefully and consider how much time and energy it will take. Sometimes saying no means saying yes to better outcomes later on.
Taking the time to evaluate seems like a smart move.
Definitely evaluating requests carefully helps a lot. Speaking of tough lessons, have you ever made a financial decision that didn't go as planned?
Yeah, I invested in a startup once, and it didn't work out. Lost quite a bit of money.
Ouch, that must have been painful. I remember when I bought some stocks based on a tip from a friend. They plummeted right after I bought them.
That sounds like a bad experience.
It was pretty bad. I learned the hard way that just because someone recommends something doesn't mean it's the right choice for you. Now, I do thorough research before making any investment decisions.
Research definitely beats relying on tips alone.
For sure. Another time I decided to rent out a spare room to help with bills. The first tenant was great, but the second one was terrible. He left without paying the last month's rent and damaged the place badly.
Ah, that sounds awful.
It really was. After that, I started being much more cautious about who I rented to and made sure to have a solid agreement in place.
Having clear agreements makes a huge difference.
Absolutely. Financial decisions can be tricky, especially when emotions are involved. You need to keep your head straight and think long term instead of getting caught up in short term gains or losses. Yeah, keeping your head straight with financial decisions is key. Speaking of tricky situations, have you ever had a miscommunication in a relationship that taught you something important?
Oh, definitely. There was this one time when I thought my partner and I were on the same page about plans, but we weren't. It led to a big fight.
That's tough. Miscommunication can really cause a lot of unnecessary stress. I remember a similar situation where I assumed my partner understood my feelings, but they didn't pick up on it at all.
Assumptions can be dangerous like that.
Very dangerous. After that, I learned the importance of being clear and direct about what I'm thinking or feeling. Assuming they know without telling them just leads to confusion and hurt feelings.
Being clear is so crucial.
Absolutely. Another time I kept things inside because I didn't want to upset anyone, but it ended up bubbling over into a bigger issue later on.
Keeping things bottled up isn't good either.
Not at all. Since then, I make sure to talk things out openly and honestly right away, even if it feels uncomfortable. It's much better than letting problems grow into something worse over time.
Open communication does seem like the way to go.
Definitely. It takes practice, but it's worth it to avoid those big misunderstandings and conflicts down the line.